Alrighty guys, today's the day. Got an engine back in Deimos.
Here we go, making really on, getting icy zone, flexing, I've been swerving, make it trendy, we look sexy. Here we go, making really on, getting icy zone, flexing, I've been swerving, make it trendy, we look sexy. It's so icy, 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 엄마 내 combination, 새로운 것 같지 머리 swag, 남들이 잘 때도 쓸어담지, breaking good, life is good, 한동안 잊었어 이 느낌을, for better life, for better love, 이제는 나도 두 배 벌어. I don't give a fuck, who should give a fuck, 요즘 애들이 병신놀이 하는 거, no one give a fuck, take care of a house, 쓸어담아 다 나이 먹었어, 후회하지 않아 나요. Let's be straight, enemies, match for technique, cardio, terminate, 좁아 아마 좋은 새끼들 너네 주제를 알아매요. Making really on, getting icy zone, flexing, I've been swerving, make it trendy, we look sexy. Here we go, making really on, getting icy zone, flexing, I've been swerving, make it trendy, we look sexy. 필요해 더 많은 시간 살 돈이 섣불리 시작해서 이제 바쁘니 랩스타일 비슷해 내 스타일 대쉬 고마워 네 관심은 빠순이 나중에 없는 미래는 정중히 인사 드려볼 일 없어 우린 pardon me 윗고기 마시기 전에 차린 정신 도배락에 미쳐버린 뒤 도전들 타이밍 ball like a launcher rim get the shot go free throw 나는 몸만 하면 그때 벌고 변한 건 없어 don't like a full
We got it in. So we got the back, transmission, and front mount on. So let's get this chain knocked out of the way and then start buttoning everything up. As you can see, I got everything buttoned up in the engine bay. It's all put back together. So all I gotta do now is the axles, wheels, filling up with fluids, and then it should be ready to fire it up.
Here we go, making really on, getting icy zone, flexing, I've been swerving, make it trendy, we look sexy. Here we go, making really on, getting icy zone, flexing, I've been swerving, make it trendy, we look sexy.
Alright, there you guys have it, it's running. A little bit on the high side, but I don't care at that. Let me get the idle come down, reset it, just like what I did with Tadashi. We're good to go. Alright, so showed you in that last clip there, him running. I went ahead and drove him already. It's been a little while since that clip happened. I went ahead and already took him to his alignment to get that taken care of. But also, when I was there, the tech did pull me into the shop to let me know that both of the front wheel bearings are bad on him, and he was still able to get the toe in and get the alignment in, buttoned up as best he could. But you guys already know, having bad wheel bearings can still cause, you know, an improper alignment, being able to hold steady, you know. But he still goes down the road straight, everything's fine with that. I've already gone ahead and ordered the parts for working on getting the front wheel bearings replaced, because the driver's side was very minimal play when you were showing them to me, but the front passenger side was the worst one of the two. It definitely had some play in it. So I've already gone ahead and bought the new inner and outer seals, including the wheel bearings for it. And I've got a couple tools that I've ordered as well, and have yet also another tool set that should hopefully be arriving tomorrow. So I'll show you the breakdown on getting your wheel bearings taken care of and replaced, and just a little simple step-by-step process. Alright, before I show you the driver's side, so I've already got it taken apart, I just want to show you guys an indication of how you can tell if you got a bad wheel bearing. You get it raised up, obviously off the ground. You check vertical, top to bottom, grabbing the wheel and moving it back and forth. So as you can tell, it has play. You can hear it knocking. Alright, so here's the driver's side. Like I said, I've already got it pulled apart and mostly disassembled. The very first step after taking the wheel off is getting your axle nut removed. Once you're done with that, go ahead and work on getting your caliper off by removing the two 17mm bolts that hold it to the back of the knuckle. Next is getting the castle nut off of your outer tie rod. Get the two 17mm out of the strut brace tower here that holds the top of the knuckle. That way you have nothing attached except your bottom outer control ball joint, whatever you want to call this, right here. You'll be able to pull the knuckle completely down, remove your rotor obviously out of the way, and get your axle out of the way. And then I just used the impact on this, and it broke it loose just fine. And then I got my hammer and tapped the side of the bottom end of the knuckle, which broke it loose. Alright, so this is the disassembly part of when you get your knuckle pulled out. Honestly, I've already got this bearing and internal parts removed. But when you're on this step, it's best to have a vise, which I do, so you can put the knuckle in there so it can brace the knuckle. You need to get this hub removed. I just use this 5-ton 3-jaw puller, and I just stuck a 1/2-inch extension inside of here, so it'd be resting on the inside of the vise. Then have this locked around, and had the threaded bolt part rest in there, so it created a tension point, so whenever I tighten it up, it would lock the jaws on the outside of the hub, and then popped it off just like that. So once you're done with that and you got it removed, what you'll see sitting on there is these parts right here, which is, this is your hub seal, which will be resting right here. And then you'll have your outer race, I believe is what they call it, sitting all the way down to this flat part of the surface of your hub, with, of course, ball bearings, if you still got this on there, like so. So it'll be sitting on there like that. Use the puller to get this removed, and if you don't have the set, the front wheel bearing puller insertion tool set like me, who's still waiting until he gets it till like tomorrow or so, there's still another method that you can use to get it removed, and that is, I've got a 1/16 impact socket and just this big washer. And what I did in order to get that removed, I swapped the ends from the large side to the small side for the jaw puller, placed 1/116 socket on here because it hits the flat surface end here of the hub, but it's small enough where this race would be able to slip through. As you can tell, it's got a little bit of play. And then of course, this nice big old flat washer, so that this end of your puller can sit. Alright, so now that I showed you how to get the hub taken care of, now we can move on to the knuckle. So you'll have outer seal, which you can just obviously get a flathead or whatever, get this thing popped out. So you get the inside knuckle seal pulled out, and this is kind of what it'd look like as well. Same thing, just like from the hub. You'll have your race, which sits there, and the bearings. The next part It's when you have the C-clamp. It'll sit right in here on this lip, which holds this outer race bearing inside your knuckle. And then I used my curved needle nose pliers to be able to get that clamp lifted up and pulled out of the way. Now for this next step, I can't actually show you yet. That'll be on the part 2 video to this one, simply because I don't have that tool set in yet. This whole outer race bearing that needs to get pressed out. Okay, so I showed you the steps on being able to get to this point. I'll show you guys the parts that we get to use that are going to be replacing the old style ball bearing sets. National oil seals. This would be your hub side seal. That would go right here. Obviously, that's what that one's for. This one is for the new seal for the inside of your knuckle. And of course, the big fat wheel bearing right here that gets rid of these right there. So one solid actual bearing. If you guys want to know the part numbers, so I know it's been kind of a whirlwind of different steps on this video. You know, getting the engine back in Deimos, filling it with fluids, getting them back together, getting them on the road, getting the alignment job done, finding out this, and so now I've come to the steps of showing you this stuff. So on the next video is going to be the part 2, when I finally have the tool set, I can actually get this outer race bearing pressed out of here, so that way we can jump through the steps on getting all this put back together. I hope you guys like this little video today. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share to your friends, and I will see you guys on the next one.